tell us what our data is all about.
Yeah, so thanks again for having me on.
Sure.
You're right, it's more than an ad blocker. In fact, we actually, the goal here is to be an ad enabler. And let me explain that. What I'm going to do is just show a few visuals to help you get a sense of what we're focused on at our data. So I think your viewers will see this. And just a really quick speaking memory lane, just to think about advertising and the world of advertising. Before the internet, you relatively had this balance. And the balance was that for my attention as a consumer, I would actually be able to get content, right? So before the internet,
fair trade.
That's crazy.
Relatively fair trade, and as you can see there, the consumers are happy in the advertising.
Right. I'd read Herb Caen in the San Francisco Chronicle, right next to a Macy's ad. I'd see the ad, I'd read Herb Caen. Everybody was happy.
Yeah, and generally everybody was happy, exactly. Then you entered this notion of data collection, right? And so we all know it. The best example of this we've all experienced is you shop online for a pair of shoes, and then all of a sudden you see shoes all over the place on all the different sites you have.
For me, it's mostly video cameras.
Yes.
I can only imagine.
There's little video cameras everywhere all the time. My world is the video cameras.
So the ring doorbell, everything, you have it all over the web.
Yeah.
And that actually created an imbalance, if you think about it, because as users, we were giving away not only our attention now, but our data.
More than our attention.
More than our attention.
Yeah.
And so you can see consumers a little bit unhappy.
Right.
Advertising industry super happy.
Right.
We think the scales went the wrong way when you entered ad blocking. And you talked about this earlier in the program.
Now we get everything for free.
Now,
Give them neither.
as a consumer, I'm blocking ads. As you said, this is hard for publishers to actually make a living if you have that experience where that's happening. And so this is what we're trying to fix. And we believe that our data restores the balance. How do we restore it? You can see now that the bubbles are even on each side. And the reason the bubbles are even is that our data is an enabler. It's an ad enabler because what we're asking people to do, and publishers and advertisers to do, is compensate people for what is the most valuable asset that all of us have, which is our data.
Right.
So by sharing a little bit of our data, we're really focused on choice. This is all about a consumer choosing what they want to do. And in this sense, the choice is, if I want ads, I would love to have ads, but give me a little bit of compensation for that data that I'm sharing with you.
Get paid for the data
for sharing
I'm giving out.
Okay, well, why would publishers and advertisers want to do that? Well, here's the challenge. Today, ad blockers make it so you can't get any ads to your consumers. And you guys talked about this Facebook war going on before, and that's just a road to nowhere. It's just going to be a battle back and forth, back and forth. Well, as a publisher, you would rather get the majority of the income that you make today on advertising, share a little bit with the community, rather than get nothing. And I mentioned the word community. One of the things, and Leo and I talked about this before when we were catching up about our data, we actually created it as a public benefit corporation.
It's not a for-profit company.
It is a for-profit. Yeah. So public benefit corporations, great examples are Patagonia, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Etsy, the
So
community.
they're not non-profits.
They're not non-profits, but they are driven by a corporate mission that's not just about profits.
And is there a tax requirement that they give back a certain amount of the profit, or how does that work?
There actually is not a requirement to give back, but a great question, because we've actually set up our data to give back 90% of the profits that we create. So here's how it works. I'm going to show you and the viewers the app. The way that it works is you download our data.
You install this. Is iPhone only right now?
Currently, it's iPhone only. We're coming out with a Chrome extension for desktop as well as Android.
And iPhone treats this as one of the ad blockers. So you enable ad blocking once you've installed this.
We can show people that if we have time. And you enable ad blocking. And the idea is the sooner you sign up, and one of the reasons I asked to be on the show, if you were interested, as early as possible in the days of
You're just
our data.
launching.
We're just launching. And the whole idea is when you launch, similar to the Cleveland whiskey team.
Right.
When you launch, when you download our data, you get shares. We call them membership shares. The sooner you sign up, the more shares you're going to get because you're helping grow the community.
Right.
Then we're now in the process of talking to publishers and saying, hey, if someone comes along and is blocking ads, why don't you encourage them to use our data? Because by doing so, we enable ads to come through. Advertisers eventually will pay a small portion of that. We distribute all that money to the community. And the way we know how much to distribute is the sooner you sign up and the more you share it, the more shares you get in our data. And so you can see here, my screen went to black there. You can see here, this is just an example, the estimated value of your shares. If we have 300 members right now in this version of the app. If we get to 10,000, the value of your shares is going to grow. Well, how do I get more shares? How do I create more value? It's very simple. We've all had these experiences. You share your referral code, and by doing so, every time you get people to sign up, you get a few more shares. People sometimes ask, well, how does that work? Is that fair? Well, we think it's really fair because the people early on who help grow this community for all of us get a little bit more.
And it's a way for you to pyramid your business to get more and more people to use it. You've got to spread the word.
We've got to spread the word, and everybody gets shares. So there's no penalty for being later. There's just an advantage for being earlier.
So I'm still going to get ads, in other words, with your ad blocker.
You now have choice.
Okay.
It's all about choice. So if
I could say I don't want ads?
You can say you don't want ads.
Yeah.
But what we found as we talk to more and more people is when given a choice of either getting ads but being compensated for it and understanding that you're being part of this balancing of the ecosystem.
Right.
When we talk to people, people get it. They're like, yeah, publishers need to make a living. We want to support publishers, but we don't think it's fair because that balances out. So it's all about choice. And so if you choose to show ads, then you're going to get compensated for that.
Am I going to get a check?
Eventually you will get compensated through the app.
Okay.
Probably won't be a check, just like PayPal and other places where you set up an account.
But I'll get money.
Same. You'll get money.
Okay. Now there's a charity element to this as well.
Thank you for asking. There is a charity element, and I'll put it up.
Because I may not look at if I get $20, big deal. But if I could donate that to to a charity, I might even feel better about this.
I mean, for me, like if I could attach this to Kiva,
there you go.
I would
like that.
I would much prefer just have all that, because right now I have like a Kiva account that's just constantly turning. You know, of stuff I'm
That's a
investing
micro lending
in Africa and all of
Yeah, we know Kiva
big
well.
Big thing for Alex. Right now it's the
exactly,
Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Exactly. So we launched with a partner, the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Research and Support Foundation. And so today, if you actually put in Komen SF, Komen is actually getting those shares. So the two of you are exactly right. When we talk to people, there's generally two choices people make. Either, hey, I do want some of the money, or I would love to support a charity.
Right.
It can be Komen, but you could tomorrow literally just sign up, have Kiva sign up and put in their code, and then spread the word
really
and say,
like
hey,
that.
here's our data.
Yeah.
Please support Kiva because I'm passionate about Kiva.
Right.
So
So
hopefully your viewers can go do that right now.
So you could do it either way. You could get a payout, or you could say, let's give it to charity.
Exactly.
Is there a setting in there that says, I don't feel like seeing ads today, maybe tomorrow? Or is if I use our data, am I going to always see the ads, but it's just going to get some money in the account?
Yeah, so you have to commit to turning it on so that you see ads. Right. So you can't turn it. We don't want people to turn it off and then turn it on and turn it on.
Well, because they'll forget. They'll turn it off and forget, probably. Yeah.
But they have the choice. It all comes back to choice.
And when I
have the choice.
when I see the ads, do I only see the ads for the advertisers that are participating in your program?
Yes. So you will. So
to block everything else.
The whole idea is that we want to work with publishers to say, here's an ecosystem that can balance it.
Not advertisers, publishers.
The publishers.
Yes.
But if the publisher's not participating, it just blocks all the ads.
Correct. That's where.
So if I turn the ad blocker on and I come to TWiT, if TWiT is participating, then I see all the ads.
Otherwise,
and I
you
get
don't see
points. Otherwise, I don't see them at all.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Interesting. So you know that every ad you're seeing, there's going to be a tit for tat. There's going to be.
That's the vision we have, is to try to get. It comes back to that balance, right? So that we make it fair for all involved. And the whole idea here was that we saw the race there is just not fair. It doesn't give consumers choice. And even if you look at the people in the industry, they're all realizing they've tried these different things of getting people to pay.
It's very binary. It either you got it or you don't have it, right? I do Google Contributor, which replaces some ads, some Google ads, with either blank or I use kitty cats. And then I pay them $10, up to $10 a month, and they divvy that out to the publishers. But I like this better. This is a little bit more, it feels, I don't know why, but it feels a little more fair.
That's the whole idea, is fair and consumer choice. And then the other thing
money. I'm seeing the ad. I shouldn't,
Yeah, the other thing I should mention is it doesn't cost anything. So it's in your best interest to sign up right away because you get more shares. The other thing that's super important to point out is anybody can sign up today. Meaning, even though we don't have the Chrome extension quite yet and the Android quite yet, you just go to ourdata.us and you sign up. So you get your place in line. So everybody can get their place in line right away, either for themselves or for Kiva or whatever.
Right. I think I'm much more engaged with the idea that if Kiva is getting the money that
Wouldn't that give you
that it builds
a
up my,
nice
I'd be like, oh
feeling?
yeah, I'll see those ads.
I don't mind seeing those ads. Somebody's getting some benefit from it.
Exactly.
It is out though for iPhone, and I can download that at the App Store now.
Download it at the App Store now, but you can go to ourdata.us and anybody can sign up.
Okay.
So the whole idea is we need to get as many people signed up for this to work. That balance that I showed,
that way
we
when you
need your viewers.
I mean, really, it's like 10,000's fine, but what you really need is 1 million.
Right.
Yes.
Because then you go to publishers
and you have 11.
There's all these people that aren't going to be
publishers signed up.
We have actually. We were talking about this before. This coming week, we have a bunch of different meetings. We've talked to a lot of publishers, and now actually this coming week we have a few that we're almost there. I can't say who they are yet, but we're almost there and being able to.
This. Well, if we
launch
can
with
help,
it.
I really want to help.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Everybody downloading it, and actually, again, just sign up if you don't want to download yet, just so you get your place in line.
Ourdata, Ourdata.us.
Yep.
You could sign up now. You could choose whether it goes to Susan G. Komen or whether at some point you get a payout. But sign up now to get the maximum benefit.
And if you're watching
also
live, just wait a little while so I can get mine.
One last thing is when you sign up, once you start sharing it, as soon as you hit sharing it with 5 people and they register with your code and then multiply that, just keep going, you get more and more shares. And eventually your friends that you've shared with get more and more shares.
Great.
So it's this effect that we're trying to get going so that we get the critical mass. You're exactly right. We need that critical mass, and it's the viewers like yours that are going to help us get there.
David Glickman is a serial entrepreneur. When he told me about this, I was very excited. I said, as soon as you got this launched, and this was some time ago, please let us know so we can put you on the new screensavers and tell the world. Everybody, this is a great opportunity to kind of redress the imbalance between advertisers, publishers, and us as readers. And
It's all about fairness and choice.
Yeah.
Exactly
Thank you,
right.
David.
Thank
Really
you. Great to
appreciate
see
it.
you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Thank you. Great to see you.
Ourdata.us.